Thank you very much.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Go have a seat. I think these first three here, maybe leave that with Kevin.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted him in the middle.
Yeah, man, that'd be good. Put him right there. Maybe Rodney.
Okay.
Right there.
It was on in January.
Okay, let's roll right into hearing from today's race-winning team. And that was the driver of the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet over at Stewart Haas Racing, Kevin Harvick's team, joined by Gene Haas, Greg Zipadelli from Stewart Haas Racing, and crew chief Rodney Childers. Gene, congratulations on having a driver make it to the championship round of the 2004 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Championship. How's that feel knowing that you'll have a very good opportunity to win a championship down there this next weekend?
Yeah, I tell you, it hasn't fully set in. I think at the beginning of the day, it was, you know, whether we win or lose, it was a heck of a first-year season. I mean, that team with Rodney and Kevin was fast out of the gate. I mean, unbelievable to do this in our first year.
And Greg Zipadelli, certainly a lot of hard work over at the race shop put in to get this team where it has been this year, and certainly very, very fast race cars week in and week out. Just talk about the significance of having the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet from Stewart Haas Racing competing for the championship next Sunday at Homestead, Miami.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's awesome. I mean, they have earned it. They have had fast race cars, like you said, since the beginning of the year. Couldn't be prouder of this group for you know, jumping in and actually you know, being the leaders of our company. I mean, that's they have stepped up to the plate. Kevin and Rodney have done a phenomenal job. Won a bunch of races and could have won a bunch more, you know, with the speed that they have built into these race cars, and you know, their chemistry, you know, speaks for itself as far as how quick they got along and learned each other, and it's been pretty special. It's pretty fun to watch.
And Rodney, congratulations on this, your first year over there working with Kevin at Stewart Haas. You're competing for the championship. You had a dominant race car here today. You recorded a 150.0 perfect driver rating. And that doesn't happen too often in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. That just shows you how on top of it you were today. But what's your thoughts about winning this race here today, and now you set your sights on the championship?
Yeah, I mean, just really proud of everybody, really. Everybody at the shop, everybody on our race team, and the guys at the engine shop, and everybody, really. I guess the biggest thing is, you know, nobody ever put their heads down, and everybody worked really, really hard. And, you know, after Martinsville, we came in that Monday morning. It was like a normal day, and we went to work, and it was just a huge, you know, team effort. But, you know, Kevin's done an excellent job at this place. I think his results show that, and he makes it easy on us a little bit. But, you know, the guys at the shop and everybody involved have built really good race cars all year, and just proud to be involved in it. You know, like you said, the first year here, I don't know if we would have ever thought exactly what we'd have done. You know, we had goals of doing exactly what we've done, but until you get going into the season, you just don't know that. So just a lot of fun, and really looking forward to next week.
We'll take questions now. We'll start all the way in the back with Jenna, and then we'll go to my man up on the stage.
Jennifer, AP, Rodney, I have 2 questions for you. It seemed to be a given and an afterthought that the 4 would win this weekend. Did you ever feel that confident that you had this?
No, not at all. I felt like when we, you know, sitting at home for months at the end of last year, and really preparing and thinking about the new rules and everything that was involved, you know, I think going to Charlotte last fall and kind of hitting it right off the get-go, that helped us a lot when we came here in the spring. And, you know, we came back with a different car and really close to the same setup, but we had to change a good bit over the weekend to get it going. And really, when we started the race today, wasn't so sure about things. The car didn't look very good and was really loose, and it's hard to know whether you're going to be able to fix it or not. So, you know, I felt like once we got around halfway, I felt like we had a good car and we could have a shot at it.
It's my second question. You and Kevin both had to make tough decisions to leave where you were and come to Stewart Haas Racing. And I guess both of you saw it as your opportunity to finally win a championship. It cost you, you know, months last season that you couldn't work. Do you feel validated now that you're here, you know, with one more hurdle ahead of you?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, everybody in life wants an opportunity, whether it's in racing or different things, or really just whatever you love to do. It could be anything, but you know, it was a really tough decision. You know, I loved every one of those guys over there, and would do anything in the world for them. And it's hard to change. And you know, the good thing is you know, now a year later, it's turned into exactly what you would want, and everything that you'd ask for. So, you know, it's definitely gratifying for sure.
Let's hear from our race winner, and he'll be competing for the 2014 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Championship a week from today at Homestead, Miami, and that's Kevin Harvick, driver of the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. Kevin, dominating performance here today, your 6th win at Phoenix, your 4th win this season. And, oh, by the way, you recorded a perfect 150.0 driver rating today.
That's a good day.
It is a good day.
You know, I'm just I'm really proud of all these guys. You know, from Stewart Haas Racing and Rodney for the group of guys that they put together over the off season, and to see this team build throughout the year has been something that for me has been just fueled life back into me to come to the racetrack and be a part of something like this. So it's been a lot of fun to see the ups and downs. I know that, you know, a lot of times they'll look at me like, you know, we just had a completely disastrous day, and we'll go to lunch Monday morning. I'm like, it wasn't that bad. You know, it could be worse. We race cars for a living, so you could be working at the Quickie Lube or doing something crazy like that. So, you know, they have, you know, coming over here and racing this year has given me new life and a new perspective on the way that things work. And you know, these Gene and Tony they give us a lot of resources to draw from within our own company, and from a financial standpoint, they've made a huge commitment to make this race team right. You know, and then you add in the Hendrick engines and support and chassis and everything that those guys do. It's just it's like a dream. You lay it all out on paper and you say, this is what we want to do, and we want to race for wins and championships, and all of a sudden you're a week away from you know, everything that you talk about and dream about and dream up and want it to be like, and here we are. So just really proud. You know, it was a fun week. I know everybody's going to laugh and say, you know, why was it a fun week? But these moments are what you live for when you're, you know, racing or professional athlete. You want these moments. You want to capitalize on these moments and get that feeling of gratification of you know, being able to do things that other people can't do. And I think for us as a company and as a team, we were able to accomplish things that other people weren't able to do. And when you can do that, it gives you great confidence to move forward, and great practice for next week. And we're going to have fun with the week, and we're going to do everything just like we've done all year. We're going to go and we're going to eat lunch at the Mexican restaurant, and we're all going to be miserable for the rest of the day. And then we're going to go home and we're going to think about it and talk about our test and draw from all the information, and we're going to have fun. So that's what it's all about.
Let's go to Tom Jensen and then Lewis. Oh, no, we got our man back in the back. I promised him first. We'll get him and then we'll get Tom. Thanks, Tom.
All right, thank you. Ryan O'Hara, Race Chaser Online. My question's for Rodney. You know, as Mr. Thar pointed out, you joined Stewart Haas Racing over the off-season, and Kevin Harvick obviously has been decimating the field, it seems like for years at this racetrack. How has Kevin prepared you for this race, and maybe the other drivers haven't prepared you for?
Truthfully, I think in the beginning of the year it was quite interesting. Like we knew this was probably one of his best racetracks, and And when we came here, like, we didn't talk about car setups. We didn't talk about anything. We just showed up here in the spring and hopped in there and was fast right off the bat. And, you know, I think we were fortunate at the beginning of the year, like I said earlier, that we had a lot of speed no matter where we went. We probably had a few things with the new rules figured out that other people didn't, and so on and so forth. But the biggest thing is just him getting around here. And he knows what the car needs to feel like, and he knows what to say to us in practice to make it better. So to have somebody like him, it makes our jobs a lot easier.
Now we'll go to Tom.
Hey, Kevin. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. 2 quick questions for you. You know, you guys have been fast all year, but you had some problems early on where you led a lot of laps but didn't win. What happened to get you back to the mode of winning races?
Who cares? We're going to Homestead to race for a championship. I don't even care how we got here. I'm just so honored to have the opportunity to race with these guys. And you know, I think as you went through the beginning of the year and those problems and different things, nobody ever got wound up at each other that I know of. I mean, maybe these guys yelled at each other at the shop. I don't know, maybe. But as far as, you know, the perception that was sent to me and the people that I was around, nobody ever got frustrated. Everybody just kept their nose down. They knew how fast our cars were and the capability of everything going on, and everybody supported each other and fixed the problems and just kept grinding away. So I think as you know, we've won a couple of the last 9 races in the chase in high-pressure situations, and cars are doing what they need to do, and that's what it's all about. So hopefully we had all that crazy stuff happen at the beginning of the year, and we can keep it away and for one more week.
And second question, and I hate to ask this, but I have to, is Kenseth officially off the hook now?
I let him off the hook last week. You know, I felt bad after Martinsville. Yeah, you know, Matt and I have become pretty good friends throughout the last 10 years, and he sent me a message last week, and I was kind of an ass to him, probably at Texas. He's like, "Look, this is where things have been over the last 10 years." He's like, "I promise you that you know that I didn't do anything wrong, and I know I didn't do anything on purpose. We need to move forward." I said, "You know what? I just need to move on, and I didn't need to come here with any of that stuff on my mind. You know, it's just like coming into the media center. I was bound and determined to not talk to any of you unless we were sitting right here. And then I'm like, you know what? That's not the right thing to do either. You need to fess up and take responsibility and do talk about the situations you know, that have gone on. So I feel like the last 2 weeks have been good learning lessons for me and how to approach things with people that are your friends and situations and things when you do things wrong. And last week ate me up. You know, I know from a competitor standpoint it was good to have, you know, those guys going at each other but from a dad standpoint it was like, I don't know that was the right thing to do. So it's you know, it's a new balance for me, but in the end it is what it is, and you move on and you take those as life lessons and try to learn from them. But the biggest failure in the world would be to be a bad dad. So that's the thing that sticks in my mind the most.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Let's go to we'll go to Lewis right here, and then we'll go to my man Dominic.
All right, now I have 2 quick questions. Louis Frank Reuters.
You only get one.
No. You know, you've done so well here in the past. Any doubts today during the race? Did anyone really challenge you?
I don't think we ever talked about anything but you know, trying to come here and win the race. You never know how the circumstances are going to play out. These things can get crazy, and you know, you look at Martinsville, somebody can just make a goofy mistake and you be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So this place has been really good to me personally. Personally, this is a place that I have you know, I love coming to race here. I love the fans. I've raced here since the mid-'90s, early 90s, watching the Corellis and Rick Corelli and Chase and Hornday and all those guys come here and race when none of the shiny stuff was here. It was dirt in the infield and tumbleweeds. So this is one of those places that for me as a kid, this was our Daytona 500. So to come here and have this moment and have these wins and be able to accomplish the things that we've accomplished here is very cool. And you know, a lot of those fans out there have been coming here for a long time, and Unfortunately, I'm old enough to have met most of their kids too. So I learned that this weekend. I guess I had my 20th high school reunion this weekend, and I guess I didn't make that. But you know, it's just a neat place for me to come to, and it's fun.
And does Harvicking hashtag now take on a new connotation with your win?
I don't really enjoy that. You know, it would have been better if I'd have been on the Gordon side of it and punching somebody in the mouth. I don't know how Gene feels about that, but in the end, it's not one of my prouder moments. So, but it is what it is. Yeah.
We'll go up here to let's get Dominic the microphone, please, and then we'll go to Nate Ryan.
Dominic, got to go on the racingexperts.com. Kevin, you've led over 2,000 laps now in the season, so just want to ask you what that means for you and your race team overall. Yeah,
you know, it's you could pretty much sum this whole year up as holy cow. You know, it's been you know, since we went to the first Charlotte test and unloaded that race car, and you know, it's had speed and it's just different because, you know, no matter what the day is and no matter how well we've done or how bad we've done or how dumb the mistake that I made or whatever it may be on the track, nobody ever says, man, that was a dumb move, or why'd you do that? It's always just been, well, you know, that's part of the deal, and we've all supported each other, and you know, that's just different than anything I've ever been involved in. There's just not one guy on this team or in the company that hasn't said, hey, what can we do for you? How can we make this better? How can we support it? Whether it's a crew chief or a driver or an owner, whatever the case may be, and that's just, you know, it's just not what I've been accustomed to. So you try to support everybody as much as you can from your standpoint, but the support and things that we have are just endless, and that's something that you don't get to be involved with very often.
Let's go to Nate Ryan, and then Jenna, did you have a question? Yes. Okay, go to Nate Ryan, Jenna, and then we'll end with Bob Pockris.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports for Kevin. Ryan Newman made it in by pretty much bumping aside Kyle Larson on the last corner, and he bumped out Jeff Gordon, who made a point of saying after the race that he elected not to rough you up despite having 3 chances on restarts. Were you bracing for that possibility? And if Gordon had tried to do that to you on a restart, would that have been acceptable?
I think anything is. I think we've all proven as the goofy drivers out there driving that we can do anything dumb. So I thought the outside was the safest place for me. As the sun crept in, I felt like I had good markers going into turn 1 to be able to drive in further than the guys on the bottom. But in the end, you got to be ready for everything. You never know. I think, you know, the 24 and the 2 on the bottom to me had the most intriguing lineup as you looked in the mirror and kind of analyzed what you had going on that particular restart. So this format has just created that. You have to do things that you normally wouldn't do, and in the end, you have to try to make something happen for your team. So it wouldn't have surprised me, but you try to put yourself in a position to where you can be on the best defensive side of that to try to make it out of the corner without getting wrecked.
Let's go to Jenna, Bob Pockris, and then we'll go